Hey everybody. I'm testing some mic stuff right now. Let me make sure you guys can hear me. Hey everybody.
Oh yeah, you're good.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Alrighty.
Alright, so you want to pull up the brow.
If you're a Dragon Ball fan, you get down to this.
You're going to want to make sure Chrome is the thing on top so you can see the chat. And
Say what?
Just make sure Chrome's on top so that you can see the chat and any time.
Yeah.
The hotkey will still work for switch and change.
Duffy's giving me lessons in streaming.
You do have mature content warning on your page, right?
Steven. Pat. Pat.
What's up?
You do have a mature content warning on your page, right?
Yeah, sure. It's
That
not.
my mouth to be heard
Yeah,
on your mic.
Alrighty. Well, we're going to go ahead and jump into the... I'm not going to start a new game or anything like that. I'm pretty much just going to go into the game where I was. And for some reason, now my controller's not working. It was working. Hold on.
Click into the game window.
There we go. I got it.
The boys
I'll figure this out.
before.
Simple little things.
Alright. Alright, so I've already beaten the game. I'm currently waiting for the DLC to come out later, the 28th, which I'm super hyped about because it's the day before my birthday, so it's like Dragon Ball's giving me a birthday present. So I get to get completely clapped by Beerus, which will absolutely be the case because he's like level 250, and as you can see, I'm only 140, and no. Hey, Mexican Trainer, how you doing, brother? Alrighty, so let's go ahead and get into that. If you guys have any questions or anything like that about the channel or about what's been going on, I'll be happy to answer them. And then as we get into here and we get some more people in here, I'll just kind of give everybody a kind of a quick overview of what I've been doing for the past few months. Flying around. Hello, purple dinosaur. I will call you Barney. I never understood. It's like I hit this dinosaur with a world-ending energy blast, and he's like, I'm mad. No, I'm sorry, Mr. Dinosaur. You are dead. But that's okay. I'm currently just collecting lots and lots of like food items and stuff so that I can make sure that I have enough food to level myself up to fight Beerus, but I know it's not really gonna... I'll probably get just destroyed repeatedly over and over again. Come on, man. You can't save a question and then forget what you were gonna ask. But if any of you guys are Dragon Ball fans and you have not played Kakarot, you seriously need to play Kakarot. It's good stuff. I mean, like, if you look at it in terms of, like, it's as being a great game by itself, it's an okay game. But if you're looking at it from being a Dragon Ball fan, it's like top tier Dragon Ball. Like, this is one of the best Dragon Ball games we've ever gotten. Like, period. So yeah, absolutely. And now it's going to be an absolute test of my concentration skills to be able to play this game and talk to you guys at the same time. I'm not a streaming pro like some other people, but do not divulge all of my secrets. My brother is on the stream right now, talking trash. How do I promote you to a mod?
No idea.
I have no idea.
I've never used the YouTube streaming platform. I've used Twitch and
Oh no.
Facebook.
Oh no. Duffy apparently wants me to stream fighting Beerus so everybody can watch me get dunked on repeatedly.
Yeah, not after you've leveled up to that point.
No, I'm not going to be able to get to 250 in just a couple of days.
Oh yeah, exactly.
I don't know if you realize how much free time we actually have.
Say what now?
I don't know if you realize how much free time we actually have right now.
This is true. I probably shouldn't have as much free time as I actually do. So this is probably one of the cheaper ways to level up in this game, is that you happen to find an enemy that spawns that you can just KO by flying into them, and then, and then you just farm them for XP. It's you don't really get that option until like you're pretty strong, but it's a pretty solid way to farm some experience, because sometimes fighting a bunch of enemies that you can just like dunk on is sort of lame. Yeah, but see, you say it's the season of free time, but I'm technically still working from home. So it's not exactly the season of free time. Has anybody in this chat actually played Kakarot? I mean, I know Duffy's played Kakarot. I don't know if any of you other guys have played it. I know definitely sometimes I have to like turn off, just like not listen to the music, because them talking and saying the same things over and over again gets a little irritating.
You can turn off their speech.
Yeah, but I didn't know that.
Well, now you do.
Now I do.
Go into the settings.
No, that's fine.
It does get repetitive.
It does get very repetitive. Once you're past like all the major story stuff, there's like, you're like whatever. So like one of my favorite things to do to start off a fight is just to immediately like throw off every single giant attack that you have and hopefully end the fight in the first 10 seconds. Probably do some stuff here just a little bit. Yeah, no, so yeah, absolutely. They do come out with new games way too fast for, people with jobs and other stuff to keep up with. That's probably just an excuse on my part as a gamer. I decided a long time ago when I was in high school that I didn't want to like fail out of high school or whatever, so I just decided to only play certain games. So I became what I call a franchise gamer. I started playing only Final Fantasies, Pokemon, and then most of the time that was just it. Like every now and again something would spark my interest, but I wouldn't do much else outside of Pokemon or Final Fantasy. But then Dragon Ball games and whatnot. So yeah, with this coming out, and then Final Fantasy VII Remake came out, I've spent a fair amount of time gaming in recent times. Yeah, so let me see how many people are currently in this chat here. No idea how many people are currently in this chat.
It says 6.
6 people? Okay. So, basic thing that's going on right now, the reason I haven't been posting as much is, I kind of talked about this a little bit. I moved to Massachusetts to start a new job, and I really just kind of wanted to focus on that. And I also didn't have a setup for most of my like recording equipment and all that other stuff, so it kind of made it difficult to make content on the regular. So I just kind of put that on the back burner, and I it's one of those things where we've only got like 6K subscribers, which I'm super thankful for, but it's not like this is my primary source of income. So I had to kind of put it on the back burner for a little bit until I got my my rhythm up here, and now I'd like to try to get back into this and be a little more consistent with content creation, even if it's just one video a week, one actual video, not like the random drunk Goku video that I posted yesterday, which was a product of me working on the Vegeta fighting style video, which is going to be pretty cool. But I know Duffy's not looking forward to it because the Goku evolution of Goku's fighting style video was a PTSD-inducing nightmare. The editing was like really tough just because we had to go through all those scenes and find out, specifically what we were looking for. And then Duffy, who is not as keen on all of the individual scenes in Dragon Ball, and also is not a martial artist, I would say certain things, and he's like, "Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about," and I'd be like, "Oh yeah, it's this thing here," and he's like, hey, how would I know that? There's no way that I would know that.
My computer had more PTSD issues from that than I did.
Oh, this is true. Yeah, and Duffy's computer had 600 gigabytes worth of
for one video.
Yeah, one video, 600 gigabytes worth of stuff on it. It was nuts.
Someone pre-rendered it?
No, so when it was the project file, so there's so many different little things it has to remember.
Yeah, it was a rough go, but honestly, it was a lot of fun to make it. It seems like a lot of people enjoyed the evolution of Goku's fighting style, which is pretty much why at this point. What am I doing, Steven? Trying to talk and do stuff at the same time. It's not working out. Anyway, yeah. So once I write out, I'm currently going through all the fights right now. Kind of like sometimes as slow as a quarter of the speed. We'll be able to. I'll write the script, and then once we write the script, we'll be able to do all of the editing for it. If it starts taking too long, I might throw out another smaller video prior to it, just so that there's some content on the channel. But other than that, yeah, I actually edited the Drunk Goku video, which you can tell because there's not a lot of editing to it. But yeah, so with that being said, we'll be able to make some content on the regular, and you'll get the evolution of Vegeta's fighting style video, and then post that. I'm not exactly sure what we'll do. We've got a couple of videos that we were working on prior that we've got some content for that we never put together, so we'll probably work on that. And then somebody the one that people requested more, almost as much as Vegeta, was a Baki fighting style video, which that's going to be quite a bit of a test in and of itself, because there's a lot of fights in Baki. There's a ridiculous amount of fights in Baki. So I'm not sure that I'll do that fighting style video directly after I get done with Vegeta. I'll probably do something else just to give us a break from going through all of those scenes like that. Because it would be very easy for me to just be like, here is, I watched all the fights. Here's this individual. Here's what I think this anime character fights like, and here's why. But I think it's a lot more effective, and there's a lot more proof in if I'm able to break down those fights shot by shot and show what I'm actually talking about, instead of just blanket stating, oh, this is a karate fighter, or Goku happens to be really good at punching people but not so good at grappling. Because you'd be like, because there's plenty of people that maybe aren't as familiar with the character or the show. They could be like, oh no, Goku totally knows how to grapple, and they're like, no, dude, he's really really bad at it actually. Yeah, so just to kind of give you an idea of what we're going to be looking at. What is this? Who is that right there? That
Message for you, sir.
Yeah. How long have I been a trainer? I have been a professional trainer since 2012. I trained people for free prior to that. But yeah, as far as doing it for money, it was around 2012 is when I started. I haven't worked at a gym in a little bit because I was mostly doing online stuff. Well, actually, that's not true. Before did a bunch of online stuff, and then I was actually the head trainer at a Gold's Gym in South Carolina.
That one just shut down.
It shut down? Shut down?
Yeah, they shut it down.
Holy crap.
Gold's Gym just closed a bunch of locations, including yours.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Like shut down forever, or just shut down because of
Permanent, like, no, it's shut down. It's not just another quarantine.
That's
thing.
insane. Well, you know what? I'm super glad that I came up here to take this job then, because my old job doesn't exist.
You're welcome.
Holy moly. It's always pleasant when you get a surprise attack. Although, unfortunately, it makes it so that you can't have them all clumped together and hit them with a big attack right off the bat. Yeah. So yeah, that's good to know. How did you find out about the Gold's getting shut down?
Aaron, I think, shared something.
Oh,
about it.
okay. Wow, that's crazy. Well, and that was Erin's like whole life.
Yeah, she's doing her classes now
Online. Yeah, I saw that. I just thought she was doing it because it was like the
quarantine thing.
yeah.
No, apparently the Gold's Gym lost.
Yeah.
money
Okay.
to
Yeah.
stop
True.
locations.
My old job might not exist because I left it in the sense that like it's not my job anymore. But like the place closed, so it definitely doesn't exist. Let's see here.
I think he's saying that because you left it. they had
No, oh
something-
yeah, that it's okay. So what you just said was because I left that job, coronavirus happened, which I take no credit for that whatsoever. And it,
be responsible.
yeah. No, well, I understand. It was just funny. Yeah. So somebody said, Son Goku, which thanks for being in the game here, Son Goku. He has asked the question, how did I meet Jaxblade? I actually met Jaxblade through my website, Real Anime Training. He was one of my early readers, and he asked me a bunch of questions about training, along with a few other people, like Ashwin Kalyander, who's like the hand-walking guy. There's a video on the channel if you want to learn more about him. But yeah, so just kind of had some conversations with him. He'd ask me questions. He'd use my workouts for training and stuff. That's why he calls me sensei. Obviously, he's his own man, and he knows a lot. He is an expert in his own right. But I still appreciate the fact that he, asked me questions every now and again, and I'll occasionally ask him questions about stuff just because, like I said, he's an expert in his own right, and like I pointed somebody in the direction of him yesterday about ice baths because although I have like an understanding of like in a clinical perspective about ice baths, I don't have any actual like hands-on experience with it. So because I hate the cold, so I don't. That's not a thing that I really know a lot about firsthand to be able to talk about. But yeah, so I know Jaxblade through him finding me on Real Anime Training, and then after that, I put out a contest for somebody to make like an anime training music video of themselves training, and he won that, and like it got a whole bunch of like views, and then just he was already making YouTube videos with about My Little Pony and stuff, which because it's a great show, you should probably watch it, even though it's over. But yeah, and then he kind of just filled a niche that I wasn't filling at the time because I was focusing more on writing and other things like that. And so, yeah, that's pretty much how I met Jordan. And he's a very good friend of mine. He's a really awesome guy. And if you have the opportunity to take advantage of any of his programs, you should definitely do that because they'll be worth your time and money. No, I still hate the cold, Pat. I still hate the cold. I can deal with it a little bit more because I have to, because I live in Massachusetts now. So Mexican Trader said Anime Trader is such a good trader the entire Gold's Gym franchise died without him. I can neither confirm nor deny that statement.
Okay, a little bit of tidbit on this. Gold's Gym has 700 gyms across the world.
Oh yeah,
They closed 30 of them.
Yeah.
Of those 30, yours was one of them, and yours was the only South Carolina location.
Oh, that's so sad. I love the Cherrydale location anyway.
It was great. It looked great.
Probably expensive as hell.
It was pretty expensive, and they had a lot of traffic to it. But then they built about 2 miles in 2 or 3 miles in other directions. They built like another Gold's Gym. So there were 3 Gold's Gyms in a very close proximity to one another, and it really killed the sales and membership of the Cherrydale location, which is the one I worked at.
That makes no sense. Why would anyone do that?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know why they did it. But yeah, but it was like, honestly, I did not very much enjoy working. That's not true. I did enjoy working in the gym and being the head trainer. What I did not so much enjoy was, I guess, the corporate aspect of things, because it just got irritating sometimes. Gold's Gym is a great company, and they care about their members and they care about their employees. But I just, sometimes corporate stuff gets on your nerves. Hey! Hey, Jordan, what's up, big man? Here I am. What is that? They're wimps. Alrighty. Yeah, somebody was asking a question about you, and I told them that you descended on high from the anime realms, and that's how you got here. So sorry to break to tell everybody your secrets. Oh! Yeah, so pretty much what I've been doing for leveling up on here is just I'll go through and just wipe out all of the dangerous enemies on repeat. And then the ones that are these little wimpy ones, I don't really have to do anything extra to stomp. But once they start making Frieza and Cell and all those be the dangerous enemies, then I have to end up going and eating food before I take them on, because it's a little bit rougher.
When's the next tough tune?
Yeah, that's Jordan's stuff. Ah! Oh no, I'm out of key. That sucks. I wasn't paying attention. That's what happens. What? Alrighty. Yeah. Oh no. Okay. Yeah, what's the question? Oh no. If the question is, am I good at multitasking, the answer is no. I'm good at focusing on one thing a little bit. If Kid Goku at the start of Dragon Ball fought Ozai enhanced by the comet, who you got? Oh, okay. So pure strength, Goku's got it in the bag. Just because, he was able to pick up a freaking car and throw it. He was bulletproof when Bulma met him. So as far as pure strength and durability goes, Goku's got that. Unfortunately, Ozai, who is boosted by the comet, can effectively, he can fly with firebending. He's got a ridiculous amount of firebending. His energy projection is, since Goku doesn't really have any energy projection at the beginning of Dragon Ball, is out, just out of out of Goku's league. So I think if Ozai was able to keep his distance, then he'd be able to take Goku at the beginning of Dragon Ball, but only if he was able to keep his distance. If he got cocky and was like, "Haha, I'm the Fire Lord, and you're just a child," and he got close to Goku, Goku's gonna snap him like a twig. I do like versus talk. That's, I think as a weeb or as a nerd in general, it's always like an important question to ask: who would win? even the ridiculous ones. Jordan, have you beaten Kakarot? I'm pretty sure you played it, but I don't know if you've finished the game or not. Yes, we are weebs. All of us are weebs. That's okay. I'm beyond the point of being embarrassed about the things that I like. I'm gonna be 34 in just a few days. I think I'm comfortable with myself.
Jack has not beaten it.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I was just asking because they're about to come out with the Beers DLC, and I'm looking forward to and not looking forward to getting my butt completely kicked by the Destroyer God. He's got an insane amount of HP. Yes, level 34 weeb. Yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite Dragon Ball games, though, just based on the because the combat system kind of reminds me of Tenkaichi, the Budokai Tenkaichi 3, and the open world aspect of it is super fun. Plus, you get to level up, which is always nice. It gives you something to work for. Fighting games are fun, but they're not. RPG style. 18-year-old Naruto versus 18-year-old Goku versus 18-year-old... Okay. Those are some good questions. Okay, so 18-year-old Goku is nowhere near his prime. Thank you, Jordan. I appreciate that. 18-year-old Naruto is pretty much prime Naruto. You've got the Naruto in Boruto, but he's not that much stronger than he is in the War Arc. And then you've got 18-year-old Yusuke, which is prime Yusuke, and then 18-year-old Ichigo, which is also prime Ichigo. So Goku is most likely the victor in that match. But you also have to realize that 18-year-old Goku wasn't fighting in what we refer to as like Dragon Ball Z style fighting yet, where they're like up in the air kicking each other's ass. However, Yusuke was at that point. And Ichigo is fighting in sort of a similar fashion. So it's honestly a really, really crazy fight, I would say. But unfortunately, the only thing that makes it like where Goku's most likely going to win is the fact that Master Roshi could blow up the moon, and Goku is stronger than Master Roshi. So yeah, unfortunately, I don't know that Yusuke or Naruto or Ichigo could blow up the moon. So if we're talking pure power, it's probably Goku. But if we're talking like if they can maybe take advantage of some hacks of some sort, maybe somebody else could pull it out. Oh yeah, Goku's definitely stronger and faster. Does he necessarily have as many types of abilities or whatever else? No. But in terms of pure power and speed, he's definitely got it. Doesn't mean I wouldn't want to watch a giant like free for all between the four of them. I think that would be pretty awesome. Honestly, if because I used to draw a lot as a child. If I had kept up with that, I would probably be doing something like that because I used to love to draw. And I would probably just make random like anime crossover fight scenes because I think about that probably more than I ought to. Sorry, mastered. Okay, no, that's not even a question. Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku versus every Naruto character? No, base Goku versus every Naruto character. Goodbye.
Nope. Goku loses that one.
He does not.
He does.
Why?
He loses control of his body entirely.
What are you talking about? Which no.
Yes.
But no. I'm sorry. My brother's over here trying to make a case for Shikamaru being able to make him like lose control of his body, but he also seems to forget that if someone has a sufficient amount of strength and or chakra, they can break out of that move.
Okay, what about Genjutsu? Because Goku's not the
It has been shown that with a sufficient amount of energy, you can break out of a genjutsu. And there's also no guarantee that chakra and ki are the same thing, so that genjutsu might not even work to begin with.
There's no guarantee that it's...
But even if we say that it does possibly work, it's like I said, it's been shown that you can break out of a genjutsu if you are strong enough. And the level of strength, the power gap between base form Goku and anybody in the Naruto verse is just ridiculous. Like, beyond ridiculous. Like, if you're talking about like current base form Goku in Super, the man is like in his base form is universal. Like, because he absorbed the power of the Super Saiyan God into his into the Super Saiyan form, and then he essentially got stronger from that. Yeah, so there's no chance. Base Goku 100% solos the entire verse. Like, back up, Kamehameha, goodbye. What if it's every anime character besides Dragon Ball characters? Okay, so there are definitely some anime characters that are stupid broken. Some that are like on the scale of galaxies and whatnot, and massive kind of thing. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So manga Sailor Moon is broken as crap. And she should not be as broken as she is, but she totally is. Manga Sailor Moon is ridiculously strong. The only thing is that there's no reason that Sailor Moon would ever actually fight Goku at all.
I mean, there's not really a reason for the Naruto character to fight him either.
You know what? You could kind of come up with a reason why Naruto characters might fight, somebody from the Dragon Ball
one of
verse.
those really contrived plot lines where it's just like,
they
we gotta
get told that's their mission. Done.
Yeah, this is the mission is you have to go. No, Keely. Oh, you're about to see a cat. Meow. Say hi, Keely. Hello, Keely. This is Keely. He is named after a dwarf in the Lord of the Rings.
He's a gigantic pain in the ass.
He is a little bit of a pain in the butt, but him's a good boy.
Has anyone mentioned Farmer with a shotgun?
Okay, no. Farmer with the shotgun is too OP to even like talk about. Like, I don't know even what you're trying to get over. Like, seriously, just stop. All right, let's heal up a little bit. Yeah. So last night on Twitter, Jordan decided that it was a good idea to drink and tweet. And he said some pretty interesting things. And that got me thinking, what if we did a live stream where Jordan and I and maybe a couple of other people sit around and talk anime stuff and drink? I think that would be pretty funny. Not that I don't. And what's funny is I don't drink very frequently, so I'm a little bit of a lightweight. So I'll probably get drank under the table. So. Oh no! My brother's not okay. Listen, my brother was in the Navy. He refers to that as going pro in drinking. So yeah, I'm not sure that I'm gonna.
You got a super chat, man. You didn't mention that.
Huh?
You got a super chat. You didn't mention that.
Thank you for the donation, Magic Turtle. That was fantastic. Yeah, I don't drink in public for safety reasons. If there's some issue that I want to be able to handle, that I have to handle, I don't want to be drunk and not be able to handle it. But I will drink in the safety of my own home. No ideas. Definitely no. You're not. Do not go make an alcoholic drink. Do not. There's not time for that. That is not the point of this stream. Yeah, you were pretty drunk. Like I think that's definitely the drunkest I've seen you in person. Yeah, but like let's say that there was something bad that happened, and like there needed to be somebody to make rational decisions. Yeah, I'm that guy in public. Definitely.
I make rational decisions. Also make lasting decisions.
No decisions.
Alchemy time.
No alcohol. Okay, I think my brother's literally going to go make an alcoholic drink right now. We're not. I still have to train today. Do not make me an alcoholic drink. Tsunade versus Kid Goku, pre-Roshi, in an arm wrestling competition. Woo! That is an interesting question. So, I don't know that we really have a scale for Tsunade's strength. I know she's really, really strong when it comes to striking, because she's able to take all of her chakra and push it out of her body in a single strike. The problem is that I don't know that necessarily carries over to like lifting strength, which is what would be needed for the arm wrestling. So I'm going to give it to Kid Goku just based on that, because we don't really have a good scale for her lifting strength. I mean, she might, like, as far as like punching strength, she might have it. But like I said, it's a different mechanic that makes her be as strong as she is in striking. If that makes any sense. Oh my goodness. I'm starting to get a hang of multitasking here, fighting and talking to you guys, but dang, it's hard. I'm not used to this. I gotta give props to professional streamers. This is rough stuff. Alrighty, we're gonna start this fight. Okay. Oh, come on. I was right next to Frieza and you guys show up? What the heck? Alright, Powerpuff Girls OG full power. Okay, first of all, they're broken. Like, the Powerpuff Girls are super strong. Versus Luffy, Naruto, Ichigo. Okay. So, this is complicated. Because I don't know if Conqueror's Hockey would work on the Powerpuff Girls because they're little girls. That's my initial take, is that there's a possibility that Luffy wins just by virtue of Conqueror's Hockey. And then as far as Naruto and Ichigo go, like, strength-wise, I don't think that they're able to do anything remotely against the Powerpuff Girls whatsoever. But they've also got abilities that the Powerpuff Girls have never seen. And canonically, there are some instances of the Powerpuff Girls getting overwhelmed by not super strong enemies just by taking a large amount of damage. Oh boy. And so like, you know, that could just be the fact that they're children and they're not used to it. So maybe if you had some adult version of the Powerpuff Girls, you wouldn't have that issue. But honestly, I'm going to give it to the big three just because of a combination of experience and the fact that the Powerpuff Girls have canonically been shown to not be able to take that much of a long-term beating.
We have apparently mostly run out of alchemical ingredients.
I'm glad because I'm not drinking right now.
I was going to make you a smoothie.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I'm sure you were. I still have to work out later. I'm not drinking right now.
That's fine. Master your drunken boxing. It's okay.
No, that's fine. We can go get stuff later and set up for that stream that I was talking about doing with Jordan.
That's cool. We'll do it this weekend.
Oh, okay.
I got my Trump fun bucks.
You get okay. So Ippo versus Kamishiro is a great question, but before I tackle that, I'm gonna go to the Gang versus Yamcha. Don't put some respect on Yamcha. Come on, guys. I know he's Yamcha, but Yamcha's a planet buster. You leave him alone.
Hey, guys. Let me just go ahead and point out. Krillin versus Mr. Crab is where it's really at.
No, but you leave Yamcha alone. That's not fair to him.
I mean, it's only one Yamcha power.
Okay, so we're talking Ippo versus Kamishiro Yu. So first problem is, are we talking Ippo at the beginning, Ippo in the middle, current manga Ippo, current anime Ippo? Which version of Ippo are we talking here? Because, you know, the series is not over after like 30 freaking years. And we know how strong Yu is. And unfortunately, I don't think that Yu is at that professional level, versus Ippo. If you put them in a boxing ring, Ippo destroys him. If you put them on the street, maybe Yu has a chance because Ippo would probably not fight. And also he would not be prepared for, kicking or grappling, which Yu doesn't have that much of a grappling game, but he's done a double leg takedown, which is way worse, like way more than Ippo's got as far as grappling is concerned. Okay, so Ippo in his prime, I'm gonna say that definitely competitively Ippo destroys him. In a boxing match. If you make it an MMA match, maybe it's a little more even because he may not get a chance to actually use his techniques because he get put on his back and then pounded out on the street. I might give it to you. Just because of Ippo's nature.
If we're talking about pounding out,
if you've got like a bloodlust, if you're going like how Ippo is normally personality-wise, that's definitely the case. But if you're going like bloodlusted Ippo, maybe Ippo still has it because it's only going to take one shot. Okay, Armstrong versus Mr. Satan. Okay, that's actually really great because Mr. Satan is strong. Like, he probably could have fought in the first world tournament that Goku was in. He wouldn't have beaten Goku. He wouldn't have been able to compete at that level. But he's definitely strong enough to compete with the people who were in the first world martial arts tournament that we saw in Dragon Ball. So he's a tough dude. But Armstrong is also very tough with special abilities. So honestly, I'm probably, if it comes down to like striking, like as far as power goes, I think unfortunately Mr. Satan might have that. But if it comes down to an actual fight where Armstrong is smart and is able to back up and do some damage, then Armstrong is going to win. Yeah, if it's an official tournament style fight, I'm still going to give it to Armstrong just because while Mr. Satan is strong, I don't think he's as clever. And not tricky is not necessarily clever because he'd be like, "Oh no, my stomach," and then like throw Armstrong out of the ring. But I don't think Armstrong would like flinch at that. He'd just be like, it is the Armstrong family tradition to never go easy on an opponent. And then he would just
Armstrong and Sig both took down Sloth. So,
yeah. Armstrong, exactly. Armstrong is super tough.
He just grabbed an arm and just threw him over their backs. I don't think Armstrong getting flung out of any rings anytime soon.
Okay, so
unless it's his sister.
Okay, so what do I think of a certain character returning in Kengan Omega? Okay, so previously, how do I talk about this without spoilers? Previously in Kengan, we know that there are characters who were like, "Oh crap, that sucker's dead. He's dead right now," because of some sort of damage that they were dealt during a fight. But very frequently we find out, no, he's still alive because secret medicine technique or something like that. And so while I am not surprised, I am a little, as far as narratively surprised, just because I figured that it would be an opportunity to take the series in a different direction. But I do love the series. Honestly, Kengan Ashura and Kengan Omega are some of my absolute favorite. They're great. As far as martial arts series go, I think it honestly is better than Baki as far as the fighting goes. Not talking pure story, but just as far as the fighting goes, Kengan is definitely, I think, better than Baki. And yes, Ippo is still evolving. So, which is why I said it's difficult to talk about anybody versus anybody when the series is still going, versus a character who's got an established endpoint. Yeah, I do think Ippo is going to return to the ring, but they had to give him time to be able to recover from all the lasting damage, and for him to realize that maybe I don't need to just immediately rush in and throw big shots, and maybe I should rely on my freaking jab. Because honestly, that's definitely been one of my biggest frustrations with Ippo as a boxer, is that he uses he's acquired all of these really fantastic, essentially super skills. He's got a really great liver shot. He's got a really fantastic uppercut. He's got the Dempsey roll. He's got the Gazelle punch. He's got a bunch of different moves. The problem with it is that apart from that initial setup where he comes in with the liver shot, does the Gazelle punch, and then rolls into the Dempsey roll, he is sort of doesn't really have anything going for him anymore because he's forgotten the basics. So yeah, I'm super glad that they took Ippo in that direction as far as character development is concerned, just because it shows that he's an actual person and an actual martial artist or a boxer, in the sense that he can't just rely on big shots and win. He's like an actual person, and he has to pay attention to things that actually work for actual people and actual boxers. Okay, my brother's asking what I should drink for the next stream, and the last, I guess, I don't know. I mostly drink whiskey, so I'm fond of that. So I'm good with that on the stream. Anything else is going to be an adventure. All right.
Young Joseph Joestar.
Wait, what did it say?
Young Joseph Joestar versus Yamcha after his first tournament.
Young Joseph Joestar Yamcha?
Yeah.
100% Yamcha. Yeah, I mean, Joseph Joestar is still he's got essentially key powers, but they're very minor concern versus Yamcha. They're not that big.
Even taking into consideration that he defeated the Pillarmen?
Absolutely, because how did he defeat the Pillarmen?
Mostly through being cheap and
Yeah, exactly.
tricks.
And so those same types of tricks wouldn't necessarily work on Yamcha because he doesn't have the weaknesses that the Pillarmen had. Yeah, Baki versus Giran from Dragon Ball. So, that's an interesting question because Giran is very, very strong. He's got the gum gum, thing going for him. So honestly, I'm gonna give it to Giran just because I know that Baki's enormously skilled and he can essentially probably take down a Tyrannosaurus Rex if he wanted to. But Giran could probably also do that because only for because that Goku pre-tournament could do it, and he was able to fight Goku during the tournament. So I'm still going to give it to Giran just because while Baki is enormously strong and obviously superhuman as far as we're concerned, he's still human in versus in the Dragon Ball world. I don't know why we started talking about Madara not doing nothing wrong. Madara did a lot that was... That's a poor take. I'm not sure that Baki does have a chance. I don't know that he can deal enough damage. I mean, maybe if he used the cockroach dash for speed, and then was able to hit Giran before he was able to realize it, and he KO'd him that way. Maybe that's possible, but I'm not sure. Lena Inverse versus Vivi. I'm losing Vivi the Black Mage.
Yep.
God, you're making me think about old stuff. Frickin' Slayers? Okay.
Slayers was amazing.
Yeah, but I haven't thought about it in probably 20 years.
But it's so good.
I'm gonna give it to Vivi.
Really?
Yeah. Just because I chose to give it to Vivi, and only also because I'm not as versed in the Slayer verse, so I'm not. I'm gonna say I'm giving it to Vivi just on with a caveat that I'm probably ignorant.
I'd say Vivi has the strongest chance in the fight because you can cast more than one fucking spell.
True.
And Lena tends to burn out after 2 or 3 casts of anything.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So Blue Sun talking about Madara doing nothing wrong has got me thinking about when people want to say stuff like Griffith did nothing wrong. No, you can take that right the hell out of here. I don't know what that if that's just trying to be trolly or anything, but I don't know how anybody could legitimately think that Griffith did nothing wrong. He's horrible. Yusuke versus Gon. I imagine you're talking about adult Gon. I'm still giving it to Yusuke though. Yusuke is super, super crazy strong. Like Dragon Ball level strength, blow up a mountain, fly around and crazy fight that way. I'm going to give it to Yusuke. Baki versus Mirio with powers. Ooh, okay. So Mirio is strong. In as far as fighting goes, yeah, he is strong, but he's not Baki. So let's start with just them. Let's Mirio with no powers. Yeah, he's a tough guy, but he's not in any way gonna be able to beat Baki. Now we add powers into that mix, and he essentially almost becomes untouchable. The only way that Baki wins that fight is if he's able to move before Mirio can activate his power. Because if Baki lands a punch, and I mean this with all seriousness, if he lands a single punch, Mirio is knocked out. Because all he's going to do is come in, throw a jab or a hook to Mirio's chin, and Mirio's going to go to sleep. That's it. If Mirio can get a handle on how Baki moves and uses his ability, he might be able to wear him down. But then again, Baki can fight for like 12 hours straight. So that's a tough fight. That's definitely a tough fight. Thanos did nothing. Get out of here. All right, different question. Who in Dragon Ball Universe would give Dio the best fight without completely destroying him hands down? Now, is that Dio pre-stand or Dio
If
with
it's in
stand?
all caps, it's withstand. That's how.
Is that the?
Canonically, that's how that works.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Canonically,
Okay.
He capitalizes all three letters.
Excuse me. All right. Pardon me for not being as big of a JoJo nerd.
However, there are two versions of that Dio too. There's Dio before he gets Joseph's blood, and Dio afterwards. So you can take either or both. Or
Okay,
whatever.
we'll take Max Dio then.
Okay.
Ross, did the Crunchyroll account change?
Yeah, I had to change the password.
Okay.
I'll get it for you in a minute.
Yeah.
Shoot, who could fight Dio but not destroy him?
Videl?
I think Videl would give him a good fight, and not
Dio?
just, huh?
Max Dio? She got her butt handed to her by the Supervis guys.
Yeah, but you also have to realize that they were also like pretty strong at that point. We don't have really a scale for them though.
I mean, you can say Goten, but I think...
No, Goten just like dusts.
Any Saiyan would
any
destroy him.
anybody who is like main tier Z warrior,
Yeah.
just dusts Dio. I'm sorry. Like he can stop time and hit him with a road roller all he wants. It don't matter. So like let's see. That's a very interesting question. I'm going to leave that to the chat because I don't have an answer for that.
Pig.
What about Dio versus
No,
King
Steven.
Piccolo?
Dio versus Popo.
Popo dusts Dio. I'm sorry. Dio wishes he could fight Popo.
Well, if we go into like OG Dragon Ball.
Okay. So you want to? Okay. So I don't know why Popo didn't get more involved prior to this, but like in the anime, when Goten and Trunks run into Popo, they go Super Saiyan, and he blocks Super Saiyan Goten and Trunks' punches casually. What? I feel like Popo is just really, 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 really strong, but he's not allowed to leave the lookout. Like for real. Like he can maybe leave the lookout on official lookout duty, but like he can't do anything like go fight Raditz or anything like that.
Okay, but it's just one Raditz of power level.
Yeah. Yes, but Raditz at that time was the strongest enemy that they had ever faced. So
But it's only one Raditz.
it is only one Raditz. Yes. But yeah, Popo's like super strong. All right, Kefla versus merged Zamasu. Okay, so the issue with Kefla versus merged Zamasu is that we're talking about with merged Zamasu. We have a couple of different versions. We've got the anime version and the manga version. The anime version, was not stronger than Blue Vegito, but he was able to fight Blue Vegito, which makes him pretty damn strong. Now, then we've got to jump from Blue Vegito in the black arc to the Tournament of Power, where Goku and Vegeta are stronger than they were during the Goku Black arc. So, theoretically, the Vegito that they made then would be way stronger. So we're trying to talk about a Kefla, Super Saiyan 2 Kefla, who's able to beat Goku in blue, but it's a stronger Goku. But given that it's a, I'm gonna go with Zamasu. The only reason I'm gonna go Zamasu is primarily because he's immortal, and Kefla is eventually going to run out of time like Vegito did. And so yeah, that's I'm gonna give it to Zamasu pretty much just based on that, because once they unfuse, they're dust, because it's only fused together that they're even remotely stronger than Goku or Vegeta in blue, period. So yeah, they're not going to be able to touch Zamasu, especially if they unfuse. Let's see here. Zeno versus Farmer with the shotgun. Okay, you're getting into dangerous territory, because Farmer with the shotgun is actually the god of the universe of all the universes in Dragon Ball. So Zeno's got no shot. He's done.
Zeno's got no shotgun.
He's got no shotgun. Can you give Pat mod privileges?
Oh, let's see.
Unless you can log onto your account, you can.
I am in his account.
He's in the account right now.
Oh, okay.
I help run this channel.
Saitama versus Squirrel Girl. You cannot do that. You cannot put
that's legitimately.
That's an actual like serious question, because since they're both gag characters, it still counts. You can't be like, oh well, it doesn't count because Saitama versus Superman, Saitama versus whatever. Saitama's a gag character. So is Squirrel Girl. Squirrel Girl has canonically beaten freaking Thanos with her squirrel powers. That's okay. So that I think what it's going to come down to in that regard is what's going to be funnier. In a gag battle, it's always what's funnier. So Squirrel Girl will probably win. Just because that's funnier. Hey. Hey.
Oh. Oh my gosh. That's going to make things difficult.
Just log in on that computer.
Is it on?
Yeah, it's on. Just got to turn the... just use an incognito window.
You got it.
Yeah, Saitama would absolutely have to play the straight man. Because there's no way that Squirrel Girl is playing the straight man in that matchup. I can't see what that is. Alright, show...
Did you ever finish reading the Magic series?
No. Oh, I got it. Hey. Duffy, I got it.
Oh, okay, cool.
How do I do that?
Just click on his icon. Add moderator. Boom.
Alright, cool. I got you.
Alright.
Welcome to the mod club.
Alright, Kurama the Nine-Tailed Fox versus Godzilla. Whew, okay. Okay, so a tailed beast bomb from Kurama is like massive. Like capable of destroying an entire city. Like large city. Massive. Godzilla's strong. We also have to talk about variations of Godzilla. But I don't know that he can tank that level of attack. But then again, I also don't know that Kurama would survive radiation like that. There's some serious questions that need to be answered about the between the universe stuff. But if we're talking pure power, I think Kurama's got it, because he's more mobile. His blast is way bigger, and he can use different kinds of abilities. So I'm going to give it to Kurama, even though I am a huge Godzilla stan. So, let's see here. More of a Mary Sue, Kvoth, or Rand Althor. Okay, so we're getting into literary nerd stuff here now. So I'm gonna say
Sorry.
I'm gonna say that the more of a Mary Sue between those two characters is probably Kvoth. Is probably more of a Mary Sue. As much as I love him and I love the series, and he's also a hashtag nice guy. All right, so Kid Goku beginning of the series versus Deku now. Okay, so
Just letting you know, friend.
Kid Goku beginning of the series versus Deku now. Deku might be able to win if he is able to,
Cancel.
if he's, able to full cowl more, like than 20%. Other than that, I don't know that he's got that. If we're talking about like, spoilers ahead, Deku versus Overhaul, if he's able to pull off something like that, I don't think Goku's going to survive that, unfortunately, because that's full power of One for All, which is just super strong. And there's if we're talking, because essentially what you're saying right there is All Might power versus beginning of Dragon Ball Goku, and Goku doesn't have that kind of strength at the beginning of Dragon Ball. He just plainly doesn't.
Of all the contrived plots that I've ever seen in comic books or anime, what on earth would make Deku want to fight Kid Goku? He'd be like, "No, I don't want to fight you,"
and then he'd cry.
And then he would cry.
And then he would cry.
Then Kid Goku would be like, "Hey, are you okay?" Goku would wind up consoling him. In the end, whoever wants these two to fight is going to be sorely disappointed.
Because they're not going to fight.
Deku's going to cry, and Goku's going to try and cheer him up.
Look at his little tail. He's so small. Cry.
Finds him in the mountains. Are you okay, little boy? Are you lost?
He's like, I'm 14 years old.
Oh no, his grandpa's dead. I need to take him in. Deku,
He doesn't have anyone.
Deku, you're too young to adopt anybody. I don't care. All right, you have to adopt this kid.
Okay, I got a question for you guys. You can talk about it in the chat amongst yourselves. Who cries? And is there any character that cries more than Deku?
Blackblade has a pretty good question there.
Okay, yeah, Jordan, fantastic question. It's a question I've asked myself repeatedly because there's zero reason that that Bakugo didn't just get his whole jaw completely crushed by taking that shot. Like, in that fight, that's cool. You can say that Bakugo was able to dodge by using his quirk. Fantastic. No way he takes a punch from Deku on the jaw. No way. Just zero way.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, Steven does cry more than, probably more than Deku. Although I think top tier Steven could beat top tier Deku that we've seen. Because Steven's pretty broken at the end. He's definitely got a boatload of powers. Yeah, exactly. Kaiju Steven. Kaiju Steven's like super tough. But then again, all Deku would need to do is give him a hug. You can't ask Sans versus Bakugo. Doesn't make any sense.
How many of these questions have made sense?
Because, like, Sans, yeah, he's dangerous to a child. But he was killed by a child.
A homicidal child.
Yeah, whoop-de-doo. Lord Explosion Murders got that in the bag.
That's all we do.
Think of it like the Arali versus Vegeta fight, okay? It's gotta be completely lighthearted and silly. The last time I ever fight an anime gag character.
Okay, yeah. As much as I hate when Vegeta gets treated like trash and just like gets dunked on, the one time that I find it acceptable is Arali. Just because he the whole time he's the only one that is acknowledging that this is a gag character.
Actually, now I really want to see Sans versus Vegeta. But not like Sans actually fighting him, but just like taunting him and being really quick to dodge. And telling bad jokes
The whole time.
the whole time.
Yeah.
how
What
angry
they
he
don't
is.
tell you is that Sans bad jokes are actually a debuff.
No, it's a debuff until it gets to the point where it actually helps. Like, this is the only way Vegeta can surpass Goku is by being get so angry. And Sans makes him that angry. We'll call it Super Saiyan determination.
Exactly. Yeah.
Depends on the demographic of people. Because Twitch is extremely popular.
I have no idea how long we've been streaming.
A lot of people
According to this, an hour and a half.
Oh, really? Wow, that's a lot longer than I
Hour
thought.
and 21 minutes.
Okay, so now we get to fight a boosted Vegeta, which will be fun. We'll see if I can fight a sort of big bad with no. Oh, he's only at 125, but he is a dangerous villain or whatever it is, the villainous enemy. So he'll be, even though he's 125, he'll be tough. And then also I'm distracted, so he might just walk all over me. Of course, I need this training right now because if I'm going to try to stream when I fight Beerus, then I'm going to be in trouble. So who is Zuko versus Natsu? Natsu easy. Natsu's so strong. Zuko's great and he's fantastic in the Avatar universe, but he's nowhere near Fairy Tail level at all.
You're just using stream elements, right? We're not using OBS or anything?
No,
I'm using OBS.
Okay.
Why you ask?
Sam wanted to know
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
at some point in the future. Well, in the near future.
Yeah, so
No, the OBS is the platform.
yeah, Natsu would just Natsu would just eat his fire and then that would be the end of it.
So you use OBS to show, like, to screen cap.
I didn't even think about that. I was just thinking about pure like fighting capability. I wasn't even thinking about eating the fire. That's a super hack. The super hack that he has against anybody else who is a fire user.
Configure that.
Which, you know, Natsu being Natsu and the protagonist of a shonen anime, can sometimes also eat things that aren't fire. But I guess that you can just chalk that up to being END. Hey Jordan, have you beaten Final Fantasy VII Remake yet?
This tells you how to set up everything. Just settings and stuff.
Great. How you liking it so far? While you're talking about that, I will address this other question. I'm glad you like it. Prime All Might versus Prime Naruto. I'm gonna give that to Naruto because although All Might is amazing and super strong, and the hero that is the greatest hero of all time, he is not capable of leveling an entire city with a single attack. Prime Naruto is crushing. Yes, exactly. Prime Naruto is spanking. Yeah, so there's no chance that he's able to take on Naruto. Roy Mustang versus Azula. All right, okay, I can get down on that. Okay, so as far as like combat capabilities go, Azula would beat the living crap out of Mustang. So if we took away firebending or alchemy, Azula wins. If we consider alchemy in the mix of it, I'm still going to give it to Azula. Just because she is super, super strong, very agile, and essentially any attacks that Roy is going to throw at her, she could probably redirect with her own fire, so that probably wouldn't be an issue. Plus, you're right, lightning is super fast, so there probably wouldn't be. She would just have to do that one time, and that would be all she wrote. Yeah, I agree. Definitely agree on that. Roy versus Combustion, man. Combustion, man. I'm. You'll have to forgive me. I'm drawing a blank on that one. So if you'll help me out on that one, that would be fantastic. Oh yeah, the guy with the eye in his head. Yeah, sorry, my brain wasn't thinking about Sparky Boom Man. Sorry. See, if you'd said that, I'd known. That would because that's his real name. So if we're talking Roy versus Combustion, I'm gonna give it to Roy because Sparky Boom Man really only has one move, and it takes a second to charge. And Roy is he's smart, so I think he'd figure it out.
Don't forget about his anger issues.
Roy's anger issues?
Well, the times that he's killed homunculi, whenever he gets really ticked off, he's relentless.
Oh yeah, he absolutely is really. So
you've got calm, collected, and strategic Roy, and then you've got murder you and
sure,
your entire
but there's
family
really
Roy.
not any reason for him to get like that against.
I'm just saying that just shows he has the
he's
potential to be
capable
a lot
of doing
more
both
powerful.
things. Multiple fitness modalities trained through a single training cycle or separate cycles focusing on one over the others depends on goals or a lot of time. Okay, so great question. Really, really, really depends on goals because it depends on what we're talking about here. Because you can absolutely train things concurrently. You just have to be smart about it and realize that you're not going to get as much of an adaptation on each of those things as you would if you trained them at one time. But if you want to be good at multiple things concurrently, you have to train concurrently. So yeah, that's a good question. If you have specific stuff, I'd be happy to talk about that because that's more what you would need to do. But yeah, absolutely. If you're talking about multiple things, I would definitely want train them concurrently. So let's see here. Would Eraserhead be OP if he had the same strength as Goku now? No Super Saiyan. Yeah. Eraserhead would be OP even if he didn't have any other quirk other than being as strong as Goku right now. If that's all he had, still OP. Izumi Curtis versus Chi-Chi. Oh, okay. I think Chi-Chi is stronger than Izumi. She's definitely very skilled martial arts wise.
Izumi spent that month in the Briggs Mountains
Okay.
before she learned any alchemy.
True. The question is this Izumi Curtis in her best health because she can't use alchemy?
How?
Because if it's Izumi Curtis in her
Sure.
best health,
Sure.
then maybe I might give it to Izumi. Because she's stupid. She's unreasonably strong for her universe. Like, she's like a Dragon Ball character, like an original Dragon Ball character that got dropped off in the Full Metal Alchemist universe. Like, as small as she is like muscular wise, there's no reason for her to be as strong as she is. Oh, great. So, if you guys want to vote on my drinking thing that we end up doing at some point, my brother just posted a poll in the chat, so you're welcome to vote on that.
Ooh,
I have no idea what's in it, so yeah.
That's actually a good question there.
In the DC show Young Justice, they have these collars that take away superpowers, meta abilities of the superheroes. Would these power nullifying characters? No, I don't think they would work. Because you have to, even if they worked on key powers, they'd still be able to destroy them with their natural strength because they're already naturally strong. If you're talking about like beginning level Dragon Ball before because he didn't know a lot about ki control or anything, even up through apart from the Kamehameha, even up through the first Tenkaichi Budokai. So he would, Goku would just rip that crap off. So they might, even if we allowed for it being able to take away their key powers, it still wouldn't matter. Yeah, they'd be absolutely useless. Yeah, they would not work. Like I said, even if allowing that it took away their key powers, it wouldn't work. Let me see here. Training for Marine in 5 months. Big fan of your work, especially the Hajime no Ippo programs. Glad you like them. I just updated a few of them just for consistency's sake for people that are trying to do the whole program. And also, Duffy, do you have any goal? Your current?
Right now.
Oh, you're answering. Okay, Duffy's answering in the chat.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Um,
Just debating whether one of these
all right.
pieces will-
So I've got the ending, one of the ending songs from Dragon Ball Super stuck in my head. The beat song. I don't remember it. What is it called?
Boogie Back?
Yeah, Boogie Back. Stuck in my head right now, and that's leading me to think about what is your all-time favorite Dragon Ball opening or ending. Period. If you have one, which I'm sure you do, because why wouldn't you?
For a series that has so many episodes and so many seasons, it's remarkable that anime has so few OPs and
Well,
EDs
that's just
compared
because
to others.
originally, anime didn't change their openings and endings that frequently. They sometimes, they would occasionally change their endings, but mostly their opening songs stayed the same. And so this is Dragon Ball coming from an older style of anime, and so they just keep that same pattern. Eating contest between Goku, Luffy, and Hibiki from Denver. Okay. That's rough. I don't know. I honestly don't, because Goku can eat like an insane amount of food, where there's like plates and bowls and all kinds of stuff that were like piled high. Those bowls and plates are piled high. Luffy can also eat a ridiculous amount of foods, even in it's so much so that it doesn't matter that if he overfills his stomach, because he's a rubber man, and so he could just like eat enough to where he's massively huge and it doesn't matter. I know Hibiki can eat a lot, but I don't know that she can hang with them. I don't know if she, and honestly, I think I might just give it to Luffy just in the fact that he doesn't have like a size of stomach that can limit him. When you've trained for endurance running over the years, did you focus on hitting a specific run time no matter what, or tried to instead to maintain a consistent heart rate? It depends on what your goal is. That's always the question. Like, what specifically are we talking about? What are you training and why? Heart rate is always a good thing to think about in terms of endurance training, period, because depending on what you're trying to train, your heart rate is going to help determine what zone you're in, and whether or not you've hit your lactate threshold or not. And so in doing that, you can also use your breathing as a guide for that. But as far as your training is concerned, if you're thinking about a specific run time in order to hit a goal, then you can break up your runs into like, hey, I need to run sets of 800 meters in order to be able to get faster, to be able to run this 5K, at a certain time. If you're talking about being able to, run certain distances at a certain intensity to elicit a certain, effect on your body, then I would pay more attention to your heart rate. Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad that you said that, because that's kind of the direction I was talking about. Faster results with fewer, less soreness by staying within a certain cardio range. But you also need to understand that if you stay within for instance, if you're staying within zone 1 or zone 2, you're not really going to be able to be pushing your performance up. You're going to be able to improve your endurance for longer distance at that heart rate, but you're not necessarily going to be able to improve your performance because you're not getting into that zone. You're not training the anaerobic aspects of it, or the glycolytic energy systems as much. So I would definitely break your training for endurance stuff up into base endurance, and then interval training. Do some fartlek stuff. Make sure that you're getting some speed work in for your distance, because speed work doesn't necessarily mean run sprints. It means speed work for your distance, because speed work for a marathon runner is not the same thing as speed work for a middle distance runner, like a miler, like somebody who runs 1,600 meters. So yeah, you need to make sure that you are doing all of those things in accordance with whatever your sport is, or whatever your desired goals are. Yeah, like pace work. Pace work is good for building your lactate threshold, and building your ability to run hard at a longer period of time. It's going to fill the muscles with glycogen. They're going to be tougher to empty of their glycogen. The goal in mind is faster mid-distance running, so 5Ks, 4-mile runs. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I technically consider that middle distance running, but I think a lot of people consider that like cross-country long distance running still. Anything that's like middle distance is technically, I think, a mile.
30 miles is what's required.
So, but anyway, so for Marine Corps stuff, 5Ks, 4-mile runs, that kind of stuff, that's fine. You'd want to run those at tempo runs. You'd want to have your speed work be sets of 800 meters, maybe sometimes a 1,200 meter, and then you'd want to do some longer slow running, up to 8 to 10 miles. And you'd only want to do longer slow running up to 8 to 10 miles probably once a week. That's your long run. You always want to have a long run just so that you can continue to push your endurance so that you can run the distance even though it's not fast. Because the long run is not fast; it is a comfortable pace. The idea is to stay below VT1, so you want to be able to. So you don't want to hit that ventilatory threshold. So when you're unable to have a normal conversation while running, you've broken that threshold. So when you're doing your long distance run, make sure you stay below that. But yeah, so you'd want to have, if you're doing something like that, you could break it up into, Mondays like 5K time trial, Wednesdays like 4 miles hills. Friday is like sets of for speed work. So maybe you're doing like sets of 800s and sets of 400s, and then on Saturday maybe you do, because you're going to be pretty sore after the speed work day. After that on Saturday you go run your long distance, your 8 to 10 miler. Now you don't want to start with an 8 to 10 miler if you're not used to it. For your long run, you want to start with, so if you've run 4 miles already, you want to start your long run at that 4 mile mark and slowly add distance over time. Just so that you're not overkilling yourself, because if you start with an 8 to 10 mile long run on your first go round, when you come back around to do your 5K time trial on Monday, it's going to be trash.
Steven,
What?
I thought you'd want to know they just released the Trials of Mana on Steam, the remake,
Oh, nice.
and it looks really impressive.
I'll have to check that out.
Square Enix is getting on the remake train, so hopefully with that releasing, if it does well, they'll go back and do Parasite Eve.
Nice. Yeah, so I do like talking about nerd stuff and the fitness stuff, obviously. So if you guys have any specific fitness questions, I'd be happy to talk about them. If Jordan's still in the chat, I'm sure he'd be willing to chime in as well. Yeah, thanks for asking that question. It's I like problem solving specific problems, because it's very easy to be like, when somebody's super beginning, it's just like, hey, start light, progress easy, good luck. But when somebody has a specific problem that they need addressed, that's always fun. Yeah, my brother also does a lot of tech support stuff, so and he reads like 4 million books a year. So
I still want my question answered.
I don't know, what was your question?
Bigger Let, Jiraiya, or Roshi?
Roshi is way bigger of a lech than
Literally
Jiraiya.
writes erotic novels.
You're right. Okay, fair enough. Jiraiya does write erotic novels, but I think the only reason I'd say Roshi is a bigger lech than Jiraiya is just because it actively harms Roshi's ability to function on a daily basis.
Okay, so who's a bigger closet Let than Kakashi or fucking the big dude from the boxing anime?
Takamura?
Yeah.
Takamura's not a closet lech. He's like he blatantly picks up women and runs off with them. Hey, what's up, Ryan? How you doing, brother? I just heard that the Cherrydale location closed. Are you doing okay?
By the way, so far the votes say that you're drinking alchemy.
Oh no! Why would you do that? I don't want to drink that. Y'all gonna hate me. I'm gonna be dead.
Just so you know, I did vote for whiskey and coke for you.
Okay, well I appreciate you voting for the whiskey. At least that's something that I would have
For
enjoyed.
whatever reason, it's not showing up though on the results page. It's just 2 votes, both for Kendra's Alchemy.
You know what?
Whiskey and coke.
You know what? Pat probably made it so where that nothing will show up except what he wants.
No, it's got IP duplication. So
Okay.
if you voted from his phone, if it routes through our NAT, it won't show up.
Gotcha.
That explains it. Okay, I'll have to vote when I leave.
Gotcha.
Well, we do have 3 votes for Kendra's Alchemy.
Are you training anybody, Ryan? Or are you just working out by yourself right now? Ryan is one of, when I worked at Gold's Gym, he was one of the trainers that I worked with. and he does a nerdy fitness thing called Roll Strength, and it's sort of like D&D based. So I thought that was pretty cool. So I figured I'd give him a shout out here because that's pretty awesome. If you want to post your anything you've got link wise in there, you're welcome to do that in the chat.
Project bud.
See you, Jordan. Have a good day. Thanks for dropping in. Yeah, my gym up here closed because of all the corona stuff, so I've been mainly just doing calisthenics and working out with some dumbbells that I have and running. That's pretty much. Oh, and I got a big rock, but other than that,
Did you
no
get
real
another
lifting.
big rock?
I do have a big rock.
No, did you get the one that's on top of that hill?
No, I didn't ever get that one. I need something to dig it out with.
Okay.
Yeah, there's another rock that I'm trying to get, but I've got to dig it out of a hill. And hopefully my neighbors don't get upset because I think it's technically in their yard.
I don't think anybody gives a fuck about that hill.
No, I don't think anybody cares
Put
about that hill
down.
either. Oh, cool. Yeah. So, Ryan, if you want to post anything about your roll strength stuff in the chat, go for it because you got some takers. All right. Let me see here. To get any more big enemies in this area? I do not. So let's find one out and about. I am not right now because about 6 months ago I hurt my shoulder. I was training a lot and I ended up hurting my shoulder pretty bad and I couldn't hold on to the bar. But I am working back up into it slowly. So the rest of everything else is good. The lats are good, all that other, but it's just my rear delt was like, no, we're not doing this. So we'll get back on it as soon as my pull-up bar comes in. I did order a new pull-up bar, but I currently, because my other one broke. But once that comes in, I've got a belt that I can hang weights from, so that'll help too. But yeah, so the world's heaviest pull-up, that is eventually coming, but it's sort of taking a back seat for the time being. Right now I'm getting in fight shape, so I've been doing a lot more fighting training because I'd like to fight a few more times before I'm too old.
You gotta join the Silver Belt League, that's all.
But oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, doing the workouts on your karate workouts on Zoom or martial arts workouts on Zoom, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm going to be mindful of it. Hopefully I wouldn't actually have that issue in the house. So I'll take it bit by bit. If necessary, I'll build a pull-up bar outside that can take more weight.
I mean, not like you can't get some 4x.
Oh yeah, it wouldn't be hard to build it. Now, mind you, I don't know so much if the yard would like it, but
That's true.
Cool. Well, hope you guys have been enjoying this here. Are there two Vimeo, or the Unit 2 Vimeo videos down in the Facebook group? They might be. I need to check that. I'll have to check it. What I might end up doing is trying to redo that so that they're easier to access. Because I definitely want to make sure that anybody who's using those resources has access to them still.
We should go through and do a a series where we analyze the video game animes and try to figure out what the systems are and why they're broken and why they shouldn't exist.
We can talk about that.
It's a fun cross section for us.
Yeah, so we're probably don't have too much longer on this stream. I'd say probably another 20, 30 minutes or something like that. And then I gotta get my own workout done for the day.
I mean,
But
unless I just want you to stream your workout.
well, yeah, I'm not gonna stream. I'm not gonna stream my workout just because I can't. I don't know how I can do that running.
I mean, so that's where you stream for your phone.
Yeah, I don't know. With the signal near my house is absolute trash.
We have the worst signal.
We have absolute terrible signal. And if I'm probably, I had to stop using my GPS for running because it wouldn't even pick me up until I was like 3/4 of a mile away from the house. So, I was like, well, that's pretty useless.
Oh yeah, so Swab IT guy, I'm gonna resume streaming on Twitch very, very soon. It's not been possible because I had to move up to Massachusetts for work, and it's schedule's been way too busy for that. But I'm gonna get back on that probably this week.
Yeah. So things have allowed a little bit more freedom as far as content creation is concerned.
Is it weird to say I'm kind of thankful for coronavirus? It's probably not a good thing to say, but in some ways I am. In other ways, I'm definitely not.
It's okay to be thankful in a time of struggle. I think you got to look for that silver lining.
Count your blessings.
Count your blessings. There
Count
you
your
go.
blessings.
Well, so far we've got free Kinder's Alchemy, and if the industry is deciding, you're going to
Can somebody else vote for something that's not Kinder's Alchemy? All right. So I recently achieved my 80-pound weight loss goal after a year of healthy eating, and I've always been hesitant jumping into fitness since there's so much info out there. Any guidelines for a lean goal? Okay, so my question, I need a little bit more specificity in what you mean by lean goal. Do you mean like what should you weigh, or how should you look, or how should you train? Those are those are important questions. So I don't want to just randomly start talking and not answer your question. So if you could, clarify that for me a little bit, that'd be great. Also, freaking congratulations on 80-pound weight loss. That's phenomenal.
I've gained 80 pounds. I found it. I'm probably still right around 235.
Yeah, when I bulked last year, I got up to 220, which is the heaviest I've ever been. So I've just been in a gradual process of trying to not be 220, but still, keep some muscle on me. So I've been trying to cut a little bit recently since I started getting into fight shape. So, it'll probably take me a good 16 weeks or so to get closer to my, where I want to walk around fight weight wise. Because I used to fight at 155. I'll either fight at 155 again, or if I can hack it, 145, because I still had a little bit of body fat at 155. So I could probably work a 145. Plus I'm a short guy, so the extra inches of height will be nice at 145. I don't really want to fight somebody who's 6'3" and 155, because even though I'm probably stronger than they are, they can hit me from across the ring. Oh, come on, Garo. You gotta be careful when fighting the androids when you fight 19 and 20, because all of a sudden you'll be like, oh, I'm whipping, just tearing up some android butt, and then the next thing you know, it's like, I'm gonna absorb your energy, you son of a bitch. I'm currently rewatching Hajime no Ippo because it's my favorite. And as far as new anime, let me see here. I don't really watch a lot of anime anymore. For the most part, if I'm gonna get into get into an anime, primarily I read the manga because that's mostly what I have time for. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm not sure at what point I decided I would do that, but it's mostly just due to time constraints because I've got so many other things going on.
Even check your text message.
I'd like to know proper exercises to focus on, especially now with social distancing. I'd love manga Saitama physique. Okay, so you can get a good manga Saitama physique with, body weight exercises and running. You know, push-ups, pull-ups, body rows, squats, lunges, planks. Any number of things like that. Just make sure that your form is on point because that's always the biggest aspect of exercise that people neglect is form. Because you really don't ever want to run into a situation where you've been working out for about a year or two and then you're like, oh, you realize that your form is wrong and then you feel like you have to start over. Because that's frustrating. What?
Check Telegram. Check Telegram.
Oh, hold on. Give me a second. 1 second. I'm being summoned.
This got posted just about an hour before you were talking about.
Oh my
this very
goodness.
thing.
That's funny. You should tweet that.
I'm going to.
All right, so let's see here. So exercises, just be active. Running, swimming, climbing, fighting, body weight exercises for strength and muscular endurance. That'll get you in a good, lean Saitama manga type shape. You can also get stronger using, single leg, single arm movements and stuff like that. So you can definitely get strong using bodyweight stuff. But it also keeps you from needing lots of equipment. So I would probably recommend bodyweight exercises in various types of movements, animal movements, running, swimming, climbing, like I said, that kind of stuff. I just finished watching Baki on Netflix. My question to you, though, is did you watch Baki, like, the first 2 seasons? Because that's important. What weight would Saitama be in real life? What kind of like Brad Pitt in Fight Club? Yeah, Saitama probably wouldn't weigh very much. I don't know how tall Saitama is. I think he's like 5'9". But he'd probably weigh 165, 170 with the way he looks. But yeah, I think just that lean, athletic look is probably like Brad Pitt in Fight Club would be something comparable. Woo, there's a cave. Not that I really need any of the stuff in this cave, but whatever. How would you structure a workout for someone wanting a physique like Spike Spiegel? Would it be similar to Saitama? Also, you'll be working on your website anytime soon. Yeah, actually, I'm going to be doing some website work here in the next little bit. Going to be updating making some new workouts for the blog, maybe writing some articles, and then also fixing the mobile version of the website because I've noticed that it is not very friendly. So we'll be working on that. And as far as something Spike Spiegel, he's very like it would be kind of similar to what I was talking about before, but if you look at Spike, a lot of his fitness seems to be, running around, martial artsy types things, I don't feel like he's the type of person to like work out, like with like weights or anything like that. So if he was going to do anything, it would probably be basic, body weight movements, and then running, and then probably a lot of martial arts practice. Advice for anyone who wants to start getting into MMA. Yes. My first question is going to be, do you have any martial arts experience whatsoever? Because that's going to be that's going to influence the way that I answer the rest of your question. If you have no martial arts experience, I would recommend that you, first of all, focus on getting in shape. But then also, you need to spend at least a year, preferably a year and a half to 2 years, doing all of the aspects of mixed martial arts, meaning boxing, kickboxing, wrestling, jiu-jitsu. You need all 4 aspects of those. Don't think that you're just going to go into MMA knowing how to punch somebody and you're going to win, because you might knock like 1 or 2 people out, but eventually you're actually going to run into somebody with some modicum of skill and they're going to dust you. So you need to make sure that you have a well-rounded game. It's okay to specialize, like I specialize in punching, but you also need to know how to do other things, because if you do not, it will be abundantly clear once you actually step in the ring. So if you want to compete early before getting into actual MMA, if you want to compete early, I would recommend doing some jiu-jitsu tournaments or some sort of like submission grappling tournaments or something like that, because that gives you the ability to train for and compete at something. The thing about striking things the thing like striking sports is that they're rough on the body, and you don't want to start like getting pounded on with early on just because like, oh, I want to get in the ring, even though I don't feel like I'm necessarily prepared to be able to do that, because that's going to end badly. Because noses break, and so do other things. If they get hit hard enough. And so if you don't have the necessary defensive capabilities to keep yourself safe in the cage, I wouldn't get in the cage. Okay, did Taekwondo for a while stop 2 belts short of black? Cool. There are plenty of Taekwondo-based kickboxers. So that's great. I would look up, oh goodness, what is his name? It completely slipping my mind. If I think about it, I will. I'll post something on Twitter. But there's a guy who did Taekwondo and Muay Thai combined for kickboxing, and he's crazy kicks. So I mean, you can absolutely be a good kickboxer with Taekwondo with traditional style kicking. Like you can look at Stephen Thompson. He has amazingly traditional kicks as far as his kicking goes. But he's also, you're not going to get kickboxing hands. You're not going to get boxing hands from doing Taekwondo. So you need to make sure that your boxing is on point and you know how to put it together with your kicks. Unfortunately, if you just try to rely on your kicking, you're not going to be able to set your distance up properly with your hands, and you're not going to be able to land any of your kicks. Plus, if you don't have any, wrestling defense, you're going to get taken down and ground and pound, and that's goodbye. My jiu-jitsu experience is not amazing. I've trained at a few gyms, for a few months apiece. Probably about 7 months total, and then the majority of my other jiu-jitsu experience is just training with other people. So I just spent a lot of time training with other people who grapple, wrestle, did jiu-jitsu, did judo, that kind of stuff. Because for a long time I was very, very poor, and so I couldn't really afford to go places. So I just ended up training with other people, which was great. You but unfortunately, it's hard to find a place to train with other people because you need mats and all that kind of stuff. So, I would say in order of effectiveness, my skills go boxing, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu under that, and wrestling is my worst. Hands down. I mean, a lot of people in jiu-jitsu are older just because it's a sport that you can continue to do and be competitive in for a long period of time. And because, if you're doing jiu-jitsu right, you're doing it lazily. And not trying to use as much strength. Obviously, you want to be strong, but if you're smart, you're not going to use as much strength in grappling. You're going to try to rely more on technique. As far as health insurance for fighting, whenever you fight in an actual like approved area, like with a place that's what's the word I'm looking for? Accredited is the wrong word. My brain is not.
License.
Yeah, like licensed with the boxing commission, and it's actually a legal thing. They actually have to cover their fighters with insurance for anything that might happen during the event, and they normally have doctors on staff. They do have doctors on staff, but
So far, you're still breaking out for me, bro.
You definitely want to have insurance, just because insurance is a good thing to have. But if you're fighting, for the most part, you're going to get covered if something bad happens. So yeah. All right. All right. So I think after this fight, I'm probably gonna answer any remaining questions that we have, and I'll probably close it up. But it's been fun, just kind of talking with you, and playing the game. How's the game been treating you? I'm not sure if you mean the game I'm playing or the game of life or what. But so I don't know how to answer that. Absolutely, yeah. If you guys want more streams, if this is something that you would enjoy on the regular, please let me know. I obviously don't have a Twitch thing set up or anything because I'm not even sure that I would need to do that. But yeah, if this is something you guys would enjoy me doing on the semi-regular, please let me know. Yeah, okay. So this game, I love this game. This is fantastic. It's super fun. The grinding is not atrocious. It doesn't make you want to tear your eyes out or anything.
He's not a grinder.
Say what?
So I'm the grinder.
No, look. Grinding is fine. The problem is like sometimes
Dude, I played Korean grinders for fun though.
Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, that's my point.
My favorite healthy meal. That's
Chicken and rice.
difficult because I like food a lot.
Spicy chicken and rice.
Yeah, spice. Yeah, that's it. Spicy chicken and rice. If it's chicken and rice and it's got hot sauce on it, I'm game. I'm a hot sauce aficionado. I live tweeted me eating some some Carolina Reaper peanuts a few months ago, and whew, that was brutal. Let me tell you, not in any way pleasant. Although I do enjoy hot things, that I think I found my limitation with the Carolina Reaper. Cool. All right, man. Thanks. Have a good day. It's good seeing you. If you guys have anything that you'd like to see, if you guys have anything that you'd like to see like me stream, let me know and I'll get on that. I do, just for the record, some games that I play competitively when I play are League of Legends, and I also play Pokemon competitively, randoms on Pokemon Showdown. Which, if you want to see me rage, that's probably a game to watch me rage, because there's probably nothing that makes me want to gouge my own eyes out in rage like randoms. Hot sauce does go on everything. I don't know if any more units are going to be added on the Facebook group for the time being, because like that was something that we tried. I'm not sure, but what I might do is just start transferring that content to Facebook, not Facebook, to YouTube, and then just start expanding it from there. Yes, so the hot sauce melting from the inside out, I'm good for the most part with eating hot sauce. The problem with the hot sauce with the the Carolina Reaper peanuts is it felt like my stomach was literally like it was burning through my stomach. It was brutal. All right, so do I have a recommendation for certifications for viewers who aspire to become trainers? Yeah, it really depends on whether or not you have a degree in exercise science or not. If you have a degree in exercise science, I would recommend some rather than others. If you don't have a degree in exercise science, then go for the other one. So ACE isn't bad. NASM. If I had to recommend one other than the one I have, which is ACE, I'd probably recommend it in NASM. But you need to think about why you want to train. What do is it something you want to do as a full-time career? Is it something that you want to do as a side job? Is it something that you just enjoy doing? Because if you want to try to pursue it as a full-time gig, I want you to know right now that it is not necessarily the easiest thing in the world. You need to be good at sales. You need to be good at promoting yourself. Because being a trainer, the training aspect of it is literally just the product delivery portion of training. You don't get anywhere unless you know sales. So if you're thinking about getting into exercise science or getting into training as a profession, learn sales. Learn it now before you even get your certification. Learn sales now. That's super important. I do not have a degree in exercise science. I got my degree in philosophy. It was like, do I want exercise science? Do I want philosophy? I chose philosophy just sort of because I felt like I already knew a lot about exercise science as it was, and anything that I wanted to know, I loved. I was passionate enough about it to do the research myself. So I didn't spend the time doing it because I didn't. I didn't want to get like a master's degree in it or anything, and I didn't want to do a lot of clinical work. So I just felt like it would probably be in my best interest, to just because I wanted to just be a personal trainer, to do what I'm doing now, which is just to have the certification. But if I had to do it all over again, I'd probably would have double majored. Just because I still love philosophy and I feel like it's made me a much better person, and it's made me be able to break down ideas and all kinds of other stuff. But just for the I guess the piece of paper that says I have a degree in exercise science, I probably would have done that. Oh, favorite bodybuilder. God, that's rough. That's rough. That's a long list.
Questions, man.
Well, I can't. I keep looking. But let's see here. How crazy would it be to stream a video on nutrition practical? We've sort of done something like that, yeah. So that's something that I could do, but I can't really give advice on nutrition stuff just because that's outside my scope of practice as a personal trainer. I'm not a nutritionist. Um, and do you have a favorite bodybuilder? I like Tom Platz. I like Sergio Oliva. I like obviously Arnold. Ronnie Coleman is nice, but I like more classic style bodybuilders than I do modern style bodybuilders, just because I don't like that extended belly thing that they've got going on in modern bodybuilding. Um, so yeah, if I had to pick like more of my favorite bodybuilders, they would be older style bodybuilders. Yeah, so you really just need to think about what kind of work you want to do, because for most people, it's difficult to make personal training their entire livelihood. Like it took me many years to get to the point where I was able to um, have personal training be the only thing that I did. And, you know, I ended up finding out that I really enjoyed sales, so I got out of personal training as my primary profession, just so that I could, make more money, because I enjoyed the sales aspect of things. But yeah, so do some research. Take some tests to see what you'd be good at, to see what you'd enjoy. Try some things out, because the sooner you find that stuff out, the less time you're going to waste. Let's see here. What is the most interesting thing you learned in philosophy? That's a very difficult question to answer. The most interesting. I would probably say the concept of logical abduction, which there's different types of logic. There's deductive logic, which is the one that most people are always familiar with, which is like concepts like if this happens, then this. Or I'll just give you a quick like breakdown of a deductive argument. Would be like, all bachelors are male. Tom is a bachelor, therefore Tom is male. That's a deductive argument. So the conclusion necessarily follows from the premises. The thing about deductive logic is that it absolutely must be, if the premises are true, and the logic is done properly, the conclusion necessarily follows. So you can know that what you're talking about makes sense. Problem is that it doesn't necessarily correspond to anything in reality. I can make a logical argument about things that don't exist. I can make a logical argument that doesn't have any grounding in reality, and it still be logical and it still work, because it's working on a basic set of rules. So you can have absolute certainty with deductive logic, but you can't. It doesn't tell you anything about the world. Inductive logic is kind of like statistical stuff. I'm drawing inferences about the nature of reality based on things that have previously happened, or based on what my statistics are. And so that can tell you things about the world, but you can't ever have certainty. The thing about abductive logic, now abductive logic is actually what you see when you watch anything that has Sherlock Holmes. They called it the art of deduction, or they talked about deduction back in the Sir Arthur Conan Doyle days, but that's actually abduction, because what it is it's a collection of experiences that allow you to be able to make logical judgments about reality, without necessarily being cognizant of what those logical things are in your head, because you have an understanding about how reality is. You know that if there's the sound of you hear something outside that sounds like a dog is barking, there's likely a dog outside. That's a basic understanding of it. But you don't know that that's the case, but it most likely is. Or if I put as another example, if I put a dot on a board, and I ask you what shape am I drawing, you have no idea. It could be anything. Well, if I put another dot on the board, well then based on that you can say, well, you can definitely say that it might be a line because there's two dots. But if I start adding dots and then you look at it and you step away from it and you go, well, wait a minute, that looks like a circle. Well, yeah, it could be a circle, but it could also be this weird squiggly thing. But experience has taught you that most frequently it wouldn't be a big squiggly thing. It would be a circle if the dots are arranged in that pattern. So that's abductive logic. But anyway, random getting off on that kind of stuff. So I think humanities are underrated. Yeah, I mean, humanities can be used to make people better as long as they accept that logic is a means of understanding the world and not just a way of winning argumentation, which is unfortunately I feel like a lot of humanities are now. They're sophistry to the highest degree. But that's a topic for another video. And while my brother is now petting my head, I'm probably going to sign off for you guys because I got to get ready to work out. And
this setup is more conducive to you being able to actually enjoy playing a game.
Goes.
I mean, you can always just ask if you want someone to help setting stuff up, man.
Anyway, all right, last question and then we're done. Is there any buff, fit, strong philosophers? I mean, yeah, there are a few.
Plato was a fucking beast for a while.
No, Plato wasn't a beast.
No. Well, legitimately, there was.
I mean, like,
there were a couple of German philosophers
back.
that were really fit.
Yeah, I mean, like, just because you're a philosopher doesn't mean that you're out of shape. But I guess that I can't draw any, like, off the top of my head is probably a bad sign. I'll do some research.
I'm gonna go eat a pizza.
All right, guys. Thanks very much for coming out to this stream. I'm going to go ahead and save this game so I don't lose all the stuff that I just did, because that would suck. Got to be ready to take on beers. Wow, I gained 6 levels while I was talking to you guys. That's phenomenal. All right, we're going to hit
don't want to lose 2.5 hours of grinding.
Hit that title screen, and we will be good to go. Thank you guys very much for coming out for the stream today, and I will see you guys at another time. And until next time, good luck. Train hard. How do I turn the stream off?
Go to OBS. Hit stop streaming on the right.
Okay.